All right, next thing we're going to do now is the cheesesteak Italian. But I'm also going to show you variations from the Italian to incorporate any topping, whether it's a cheesesteak Italian with sharp provolone and broccoli rabe or spinach, or if it's just a cheesesteak with American spinach, or sweet peppers and onions, and mushrooms, or whatever, any topping plus cheese is what I'm going to show you how to do now. All right, so first thing we do, like we do on our regular steak, is we layer a thin layer of oil onto our grill. We layer our steak down, we remove the paper, now what we do is we turn our steak and then we just overlap it. Just the edge and that edge. So you're taking about that much of the steak and overlapping it. So there's that much of an overlap. I want to say maybe an inch of an overlap. It's a long piece of steak now, but we're going to show you how we're going to shorten that to the size that we need for the sandwich. And now we're going to let this cook about a minute and a half on this side. Now on our traditional, we're going to make an Italian with broccoli rabe. So we're having two level scoops of our broccoli rabe. We're putting it here on the heat to get heated up. Now, again, like I said in the beginning of this demonstration, it could be broccoli rabe, it could be sweet peppers, it could be fried onions, it could be mushrooms, it could be any other topping that goes on this other than produce. You wouldn't do it. So any produce like pickles, lettuce, tomatoes, you would not do this for. But any other hot topping will be done with this technique that I'm going to show you now. All right, so it's been about a minute and a half, as you can see. It's cooking around the side. Now we're going to flip it. See how it's nicely cooked? Now we're going to break it 3 times. 1, 2, 3, which gives us 4 pieces. Now we're just going to bring these pieces together until we got the size of our roll, which is that. And once again, we're going to leave it. Beautiful. Now we're going to let this cook for at least another minute, maybe a minute and 15 seconds on this side. In about a minute now, we're going to check to make sure that it's cooked all the way through, which it is. There is no more red. So now what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little salt, pepper hit. Now we're going to take we're going to take our cheese actually next. We're using sharp provolone, and we're going to layer our sharp provolone on. Then we're going to take our broccoli rabe. We're going to layer that on top, just like this. And now we're going to take the steak, and flip it so that all of those juices, again, from the steak, melt into the sharp cheese and into the broccoli rabe. So instead of biting into the sandwich and tasting the sharp, and then tasting the broccoli rabe, and then tasting the steak, what we're doing is we're melding all of those flavors together. So all those flavors are incorporated into the steak, into the cheese, and into the broccoli rabe. And again, it doesn't have to just be broccoli rabe. If this was just a cheesesteak with American sweet peppers and onions, you would do the same thing. You layer the American on, you put the sweet peppers on, you put the onions on, then you flip the whole thing over again. And again, you're going to let this sit about a minute and 15 seconds. You just want to make sure all those flavors get melted together. All right, it's been about a minute. So now, we're going to take right under, grab it, flip it. All of those flavors now have come together beautifully. The cheese is all melted. All the oil from the cheese and the provolone, look at that. The sharp provolone is all melted into the steak. It's melted into the broccoli rabe. That's where all your flavor comes from. Now we're going to wrap it. That's our steak Italian, but like I said, it could be a steak with fried onions and sweet peppers, a steak with sweet peppers and mushrooms and onions, a steak with as many of the hot toppings you can put on it. They're all melt the same way. Once it's flipped over, all those flavors melt